All right, what up, though, beautiful people? It is your boy, JB Ricks, a.k.a. The Ricks Review, coming at you with another podcast episode. And I know it's been a little bit of a minute. Got a lot of things going on, you know what I mean, around the way with the Ohana Lounge opening and new things, new blessings, all types of things coming out of, you know, the left field, right field, and all that or whatever. But we are back and in full effect. And I've got my main man, my boy, my brother from another, Mr. Clark Gerber, a.k.a. the super producer, joining me for this latest episode, man. Listen, Clark, I'm going to just start right here. When it comes to the major news that came down this morning or whatever, man, I said, oh, heck no, I got to have my man Clark on the show for this one right here because this is something we are going to yuck it up about, man. How you doing, bro, man? How's things going on in your world?
Doing good, doing good. We're in the back to school mode around here, so just getting ready for that. And I did take a few moments to read everything about the Michigan case this morning, and I had myself a good time.
I already know you having a good time, man. You probably popped a mojito or something like that or whatever in celebration or whatnot. Like I said, you were the first person I thought about, and I was like, man, I got to call him on, man. So listen, that's not the only thing we're going to talk about. We got plenty to discuss in this episode of the Rick's Review podcast, but obviously the major news that came down early on Friday morning was the news that Michigan football was receiving even more sanctions for the sign-stealing scandal that took place a few years ago. And obviously, I just want to break down some of the kind of major pinpoints here that came about when it came to those other sanctions that have come out. They are going to give head coach Sherrone Moore an additional game, which will be served in the beginning of 2026. He's already under a 2-game suspension for this upcoming season. Like you said, Clark, back to school, football's right around the corner, so that first week is coming right around the corner as well. That was one headline from it. Jim Harbaugh, the former coach, he's getting a 10-year show cause on top of the 4-year show cause that he's already serving for a prior infraction that he had with the NCAA. So if you add it up, that's 14 right there. 14 years where he cannot accept or he cannot be hired by an NCAA institution. So I mean,
yeah, but he's completely innocent though. He's innocent.
Hey, I'm just reading the facts here, okay? None of this is opinion based, folks. I'm just reading the facts. And then another report that came out, which I do believe is going to be fact. The sanctions that have been levied against him from the NCAA can have reportedly come out to be more than $30 million. Now, Clark, I've heard a lot of NCAA sanctions. I've heard of a lot of punishments, suspensions, fines, all this, that, and the third. $30 million, though? Man, break that down to me, man. How does that come about? $30 million.
Well, based on what I read, there's the base fine, which is like a couple $100,000 or whatever, normal stuff that you hear about. Then there's 10% of the budget for the football team, 10% of the recruiting budget, and then they get revenue share every year from the Big Ten. Michigan has to give that up for 2 years in a row. Sounds like a completely innocent program to me, with nothing to hide and you know, everything above board. We all know how Michigan loves to get on their high horse and count themselves as the moral high ground of the Big Ten. So I'm sure there's nothing to see here.
Hey, listen, man. That's why this is the Rick's Review podcast, man. He got to come on and talk his stuff, man. This is how it goes down. Like, y'all know how Clark Gerber gets down. He's gonna sit here and tell you how he really feels. Me, I mean, you all know I'm a Spartan. Let's not even get it twisted or whatnot, but I am going to try to play a biased playing field here. I just read the facts right here. These are the sanctions. These are the infractions. These are the punishments being levied down on an investigation that they said, like you said, Clark, they were completely innocent from. Like they said, it didn't happen. There's videotape. There's videotape of this Connor Stallions guy or whatever on the Michigan State sideline And they're still trying to say like, nah, it didn't
His
happen. Nah,
phone
it's
is in a
emotional.
pond.
I mean, come on, man. Like this says it all right here, man. Like I said, the $30 million that like Jim Harbaugh was never coming back to the NFL, or he was never coming back to college football. So we
Right.
already knew
Yeah.
that. That's why. Let's be honest. Like, come on, he had to get up out of here, man, because he knew this was coming. He knew this was coming. So he got up out of here. He's in the
Uh-huh.
NFL, got a great job out there in LA. He never was coming back. So all right, no big deal. One additional game for Coach Moore. Okay,
The
all
games are
right.
a joke,
Sit out
but
that game against Miami of Ohio, you know what I mean, 2026 or whatever, and then go about your business. But that $30 million threw me for a curve, man. That just threw me off. So, like I said, man, if the NCAA really believed that you guys were innocent, why is this stuff happening right here? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
right.
saying.
Right. Just so the audience is fully aware, we're two bona fide Michigan haters, Spartan, Buckeye. So it's not lost on me. I had to compare this to two things in my Buckeye past. Tattoo Gate, if you remember.
Okay. Okay.
Ohio State had to vacate wins and got a postseason ban. Where is that for Michigan?
Mm.
That's not lost on me. That made me angry a little bit. But then I remembered. I'm throwing stones from kind of a glass house here because my team did employ Urban Meyer for a little while, and he's not the best dude. I was never a big fan of his, so I feel okay. I was never a fan of Urban Meyer, so I never condoned his actions or anything. However, do you know how many years of a show cause penalty Urban Meyer ever got, JB? Zero.
Wow.
Zero. Jim Harbaugh sitting at plus 14 on the show cause meter against Urban Meyer. So again, totally innocent man, I'm sure.
Oh, it's mind blowing, man. It's a mind blowing situation, man. But like I said, we can't deny the facts. $30 million, an additional game for Sherrone Moore. But like you said, none of those victories vacated. Championship not being vacated. Like
giant asterisk though.
We could put the asterisk next to it all day, every day, man. But if the NCAA is not going to take away those victories, they're going to be recognized as the national champions. And like you said, put that giant asterisk next to it because there's too much smoke. There's too much smoke.
That's fine. I do take solace. This was their first, I believe, first non-shared national championship since 1948, JB.
Yeah.
1948,
Yeah.
and now it has a giant asterisk. So, like, it wasn't my favorite when it happened, but I do take a little bit of solace. You know, what's done is done, but we do get to put the nice little asterisk next to it, and that makes me sleep a little bit better.
I might sleep a little bit better myself, man, knowing that asterisk, when I tell them put that asterisk next to it, that's proof. That's proof right there, man. It's right there in writing. It's right there in writing. All right, now here's something that you and I will definitely disagree on going into these back to school era that we're in right now, which also means the return of the NFL. And of course, you know we got to go ahead and talk about my favorite team, obviously the Detroit Lions, and your favorite team as well, the Minnesota Vikings, okay? All right, so that's where we're going to stick this topic to when it comes to the upcoming NFL season getting ready to roar, okay? And no pun intended right there. Basically, the Lions are going into this season as the two-time defending NFC North champions. The last team to win the North, other than the Lions, was your Minnesota Vikings. Please tell me, Clark, how your Minnesota Vikings are or can dethrone my Detroit Lions from the top of the mountain in the NFC North.
Okay, I'm in a tough spot, JP, because we just spent a few minutes ripping on Michigan, and the quarterback of that Michigan asterisk national title team, JJ McCarthy, and my hopes are tied to him.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
He is my boy now. Better or worse, he's my boy. I have to ride with him.
That's your boy.
And the simple answer, JB, is if JJ McCarthy is good, if he's even an average to above average quarterback, put him on number 16 or higher on the list of NFL QBs, the Vikings will make the playoffs and have a real shot at winning the North. Everywhere else, we're fine. We fixed the offensive line. Our defense is stacked, especially along the front seven.
Okay.
Talent-wise, we are a top 10 roster in the NFL, right next to the Lions. I think the Lions, even though you lost some to injuries and retirement this last offseason, lost a couple coordinators, you guys are going to be right there. I feel really good about our coaching staff. Kevin O'Connell, I think if I'm going to trust anybody with bringing along a second-year quarterback that hasn't played a regular season snap, it would be him, number one. Brian Flores, best DC in the game right now. I feel really good. If JJ is good, the Vikings will be good. Okay. And now I'm not super thrilled about the schedule, but I look around the NFC North and nobody has an easy schedule. It's going to be a bloodbath.
No, no.
But
Not in the North.
I'm really excited to see what he can do. If he's good, the Vikings are good.
Well, no, you're absolutely right about the NFC North. You know, it doesn't matter what team you are. You're going to have a tough schedule playing in that division. It's clear as day the toughest division in the NFL, especially coming off of last year. Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit all being top tier NFC contenders last year. So whoever it is, you're going to have a tough schedule. And that does bring me to my Lions on why I still think we are going to survive the toughest division in the NFL for a third straight year. And the main reason why I believe we are going to survive is because there is no way I'm going to sit here and believe that for 2 years in a row, we are going to be down to our third, fourth, fifth, and sixth string defensive guys towards the end of the season. It's not happening. No way I'm going to believe that's going to happen 2 years in a row. We are going to be healthy. We are going to be hungry. We are going to be fierce. We're coming through because we know these windows go away real fast. And right now, the Lions are in a window where they can bring this franchise, they can bring this city, they can bring this state their first ever Super Bowl trip. Everybody is stupendously hungry. And that's why I do believe that we're going to get through this. There's going to be some nicks and knacks here and there, but the way the injury ward went down last year, whatever, man, that was a once in a generation type of situation. We're going to be healthy. I am super confident in our running backs. I am super confident in Jared Goff running this offense. And I'm telling you right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to go after another first team All-Pro selection this year. One of the baddest route runners in the game. And then J-Mo's got another year to add to his speed and to add to his talent and to add to his deep threat ability. Get out of here, man. JG's going to throw that thing down the field all day, every day. And if you're going to try to take that away, we got Amon-Ra coming right through the middle or whatever, or we're going to throw one of these running backs at you. And Laporta, our tight end, like we're stacked. We're stacked on offense, even though I do have a little bit of anxiety losing our coordinators, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, both well-deserving of the head coaching positions that they have moved on to. Well-deserved. I'm very, very happy for them. I still believe that the core of what we built on last year is going to carry into this year with no injuries. So that's my thing. That's why I don't feel like we will be dethroned. We've been running this division for the past 2 years, the toughest division in the NFL, and we're expected to be Super Bowl contenders this year. So it's ours. When it comes to your Minnesota Vikings, JJ ain't ready for that schedule. JJ ain't ready for that schedule that you was just talking about, Clark.
Yeah, we go across overseas 2 straight games, I believe in Ireland and in London.
Wow.
So that's a kind of a curveball right off the bat.
Wow.
If I can actually love on your Lions for a little bit,
sure.
They remain, I think, the top contender for the Vikings. The Bears, I think that it's going to take more than a year. I don't expect them to come out firing. And then Green Bay, they always scare me because I just have a lot of history with Green Bay, and they've broken my heart more than a couple times.
Me too.
But roster-wise, I don't think they stack up with the Vikings and the Lions.
No.
With the Lions, you talk about losing the coordinators. I think people are underestimating Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell has done a good job of convincing everybody that he's this meathead guy and not really that sharp of a football coach. He's smart. He's a very good coach. And I know that the way he changed the culture in Detroit is one of the top 5 most impressive things I've seen an NFL coach do. I think Detroit's going to be fine. Jahmyr Gibbs puts the fear of God into me. He is the most electric dude. And if I have a chance, I'm definitely picking him up in fantasy. And then Aiden Hutchinson coming back. I mean, you mentioned the defensive injuries.
That's what I said.
Aiden Hutchinson was on his way to DPOY, no question about it. And then he got hurt. So if he's able to come back,
he is coming back
close to where he was last year. Yeah, I know sometimes it takes a little while to regain form, but if he regains form, I know he's going to be back on the field. But if he's anything like he was last year, I mean, that pass rush is going to get a huge boost. And you see the Lions are all of a sudden they're a much more well-rounded team that we saw at the beginning of the regular season last year.
Sounds like you agree with me, brother.
I mean, look, man, if anybody's going to win it besides the Vikings,
Yeah,
right, it's going
yeah.
to be the Lions. The Lions are the standard. You guys, as you said, run the North for the last couple years.
Hmm.
If JJ McCarthy is good, then we'll see you at the top. We'll see you on Christmas Day for a Week 16, probably for the division. If he's not, then we'll see you probably in a couple more years.
How likely though? How likely though, Clark? He needs to be the 16th best quarterback. How likely do you think he can do that? Essentially going into his rookie year. This is really his rookie season, right?
With Kevin O'Connell as the head coach, I put a better than 50% chance. I put a lot of faith in Kevin O'Connell, what he's been able to do with Sam Darnold, who was left for dead in his career. All of a sudden,
Good
he gets
point.
a fat
Good
contract
point.
with the Seahawks because what he was able to do. I know you remember 2 years ago, Josh Dobbs off the street
Yeah.
delivered, some
Yep, I
amazing
remember.
performances before he turned back into
Yep.
a company. I just really trust Kevin O'Connell,
Nope.
and I think with a year, even though he wasn't able to take the reps in practice or anything, I think a year in the building to acclimate is still going to be not your average rookie who's
Yeah.
playing, getting his first NFL action.
Solid points. Solid points, man. Listen, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving this flow right here, man. The football stuff, man. This is just what we do, man. So I'm so glad you're able to join me on this podcast. I got one more topic for you before I let you go ahead and get back to daddy duty, man, because I know that's first and foremost or whatnot. But before I let you go, we're talking about getting hype for the beginning of the NFL and the college football season. Well, we are down to the end of the golf season. All four majors have already taken place, with Scottie Scheffler coming away with two of those joints. The latest coming in the Open Championship, formerly known as the British Open. He came away with that. It was his fourth major of his career, and this guy is really only getting started. So Clark, after him getting his fourth major, the stat that came out that just, already there were Tiger Woods whispers, right? Because he's been the number one golfer, man, for like the longest or whatever. He's clearly the best golfer in the world or whatever. But those major championships, that's what it's all about, okay? You've got your fourth already this early in your career. I know you saw this stat, but I just want to put it out there for our viewers out there who have not seen this stat. Between his first major championship and his fourth major championship was a total of 1,197 days between his first and fourth major championship.
Scottie Scheffler's, yeah.
Scottie Scheffler. Tiger Woods' first major championship to his fourth major championship. The days in between that, 1,197. I'm sorry, Clark. I don't believe in coincidence, bro. I don't believe in coincidence, man. I think it's a sign. So you tell me right now why I'm crazy for the Tiger Woods comparisons with Scottie Scheffler. Tell me why I'm crazy, please.
To say that you're crazy is a little bit of an overstatement, but I think that we do forget just how dominant Tiger was.
He was.
Scottie, it's unfair to expect him to be that dominant ever for, I guess, a couple of reasons. Number one is just Tiger is singular in that way. Number two, the competition's a lot better now.
It is.
And you can argue that the reason that the competition is a lot better is because of Tiger Woods. The Tiger Woods effect popularizing golf got so many other young players into the game. However, I am reminded after Michael Jordan retired, right? Mm-hmm. We were so into who's going to be the next MJ. We tried to put it on, a couple different people, didn't really take. All right, until we got LeBron, and now it's a legitimate debate.
Yeah,
I'm reminded of that. I'm still, and MJ is the greatest player I've ever seen guy because his highs were the highest. However, LeBron has a legitimate argument, I believe.
He does.
Because of his longevity.
He does.
Scottie Scheffler has a chance to do something similar. I don't expect him to ever reach the heights that Tiger reached, but if he's able to have more longevity than Tiger, we know that Tiger had personal issues. He had injuries that kind of derailed his career that kept him from reaching maybe some of the career numbers that he could have. Scottie might be able to reach some of those numbers. So while I don't believe he will ever be as dominant as Tiger ever was at his peak, I see for the first time somebody that could end up in the same stratosphere as him when we end up talking about the GOAT here in about 10, 15 years.
I love it. You brought up some great points. And my counter to some of those points is that Scottie Scheffler, I just don't see it happening. A lot of the shenanigans that Tiger Woods kind of like got into or whatever that kind of like, had his career kind of derailed when he could have put up monster Grand Slam. He could have put up monster major championship numbers or whatever. That's not going down with Scottie Scheffler. This guy is like locked in. And the thing that I noticed before he even won this fourth major championship, what I've been noticing about Scottie Scheffler's game over the past couple years is that he brings that similar, I don't want to put it up there with Tiger, but he brings a similar fear factor when he's at the top of that leaderboard come Saturday and Sunday. Like sure. if I see Scottie Scheffler in the top 5 like Saturday morning, like when I pull my leaderboard up, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And the only other golfer I felt that way about was Tiger Woods. And then this 1,197 days deal, man, that just like really blew my mind. I'm sorry, I'm big on stuff like that or whatever, those quote unquote coincidences and all that. Yeah. And he's obviously just one win away from the career Grand Slam, which I do believe he'll get next year because he's that locked in. He's that focused of a golfer. He sees something right there that he knows he has to do and get it done and get it out of the way right now. I think he'll win that U.S. Open next year and get the career Grand Slam, so we don't even have to talk about that anymore. Then he's going to move on to the next challenge. I see that type of I see that type of hunger. I see that type of Mamba mentality in this guy, but he's just quiet about it, though. You know what I mean? He's not going to go out here and be rah-rah and talk all that smack or whatever and, like, give you, the tweet headlines and stuff. No, he's going to go out there and go to work, and that's what he's been doing, during this early stages of his career. That's what he's been doing these past couple years when he's been at the number 1 spot for I don't even know how long, man. I should have looked up how many weeks it's been that he's been number 1. You saw what he did in the Olympics last year, dominated that, came away with the gold medal. I just think there's a level of focus that there's no other golfer on the PGA Tour, Live Golf, whoever, in these major championships that can fool with him. And like I said, when he's at near the top of that leaderboard, he has that Tiger Woods fear factor, man. So that I just wanted to throw that out there, man. I wanted to talk about Scottie Scheffler. I know he's in contention right now for the FedEx Cup playoffs and winning that. He's gonna get that too. Like, come on, like, favorite, yeah. Do I even need to watch? Like, it's gonna be Scottie Scheffler at the end of the day. That's the Tiger Woods effect, man. So I don't think it's crazy that we're comparing him to a Tiger Woods, but it's also not crazy to say that we're hungry for somebody to dominate a sport like that again. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, it's must-see TV, man, when you get to watch these athletes go out here that are superstar athletes and they literally dominate their sport, man. It's just, it's fun. It's fun for the sport. It's fun for all of sports or whatever. And Scottie Scheffler, I think he can become that next, like, dominant superstar athlete. And I think he's off to a great start.
Yeah, I'm a fan, man. I like the way he carries himself. His game is super well-rounded. I'm excited to see what he can do.
I love it, man. Well, you know what? When he does do it, whatever it is that he can do, we're going to come back on here. We're going to talk about it some more, man. My man, the super producer, Clark Gerber, joining me for another episode of the Rick's Review Podcast. Hey, baby, we knocked it out, man. Got the Zoom working, got everything up in order. My man Cam in the background on the 1s and 2s, holding it down, man. This was a good episode right here, my man. We got to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. So that's Clark Gerber, the super producer, my colleague joining me here on the Rick's Review Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Food Folks Fun on YouTube. That's where the podcast will be posted in its entirety. It'll also be on my Rick's Review Facebook page. And when it comes to everything regarding Food Folks Fun, find us on TikTok, find us on Instagram, find us on all of your social medias. And you can also find us on our website at www.foodfolksfun.com. It's your boy, Rick's Review, JB Ricks in the building, signing off. For my man, Clark Gerber, Rick's Review, Food Folks Fun. We'll see you for the next episode of the Rick's Review Podcast. Peace.